Warning! Did you know the wrong kind of lithium battery can destroy your kayak trolling motor? Wow! I've just found this out. You need to pay attention and I'll show you the fix. Wow, this really came as a shock to me. I did my last video on comparing a lead acid versus a lithium, with lithium being the clear winner in that you can get every single amp hour out of a lithium battery, whereas a lead acid kind of falls off to nothing after it's discharged 50%. It's called depth of discharge. Well, one of my astute viewers looked at the video and said, hey, I've got a Newport trolling motor just like you do, and the Newport guys don't recommend lithium batteries. Whoa, that came as a shock to me. So I went to their website to see what the deal was. And sure enough, they said that many lithium batteries will output higher than 13.5 volts, which is the upper maximum for their trolling motor. In fact, it says that they tend to run for longer durations at between 14 and 16 volts. So I immediately went and looked at my lithium battery to see what the specs were on it. And the nominal voltage on this is 12.8. So Rebel batteries isn't a problem with overvoltage. And in fact, just to be sure, I contacted the owner, good guy, service disabled veteran. I'll put the link to his battery site down below. And he said, yeah, a lot of lithium batteries will charge higher than a lead acid. And when you initially hook them up, they'll kick out that overvoltage until a few amps are consumed, and then it'll drop down to whatever the nominal voltage rating is. But with his batteries, there's a way to control this. So before I get into that, let me wrap up the warning here, is that when you go look for a lithium battery for your trolling motor, be sure you look at the data plate and see what the nominal voltage is. According to Newport, if it's less than 13.5 volts, that will be okay, at least for their trolling motors. I went and looked at the Minn Kota website, and it didn't say anything about lithium. It basically just said use a marine deep cycle battery. But, you know, electrons are electrons flowing out the end of the line, so I would imagine that the same criteria apply to them. So if you've got a Minn Kota motor, I would recommend you give them a call, or any other manufacturer, give them a call and find out about the compatibility with lithium. And really, it's not compatibility with lithium, it's compatibility with the consistent output. Like with the Rebel batteries, 12.8 volts, no problem. So anyway, there's an app that comes with this, and I just have to turn on the Bluetooth, and now I can set the parameters of this so it would never exceed 13.5 volts. So let's go to the app on my iPhone, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. I did have to upgrade the app to the Pro version for $7 to be able to configure the settings on the lithium battery. And once I configure them, I can save them and then write them back, and then my lithium battery is good to go forever. First thing to do is to go open the app and select the device, and it opens it, and now it imports all the data from the battery, and you can see that I'm looking good. I go hit config down at the bottom, and then I go to BMS settings, and now I can edit the parameters once I read them in from my trolling motor battery. And you can see that there's a lot of things you can adjust here. But I want to go down and I want to set the overvoltage to 13,500 and then the release value to 13,000 based on Rebel Battery's recommendations. In addition, he recommended that I set the cell values as well. And basically there's 4 cells, so I divide 13.5 by 4, and that's what I'm going to put in the cell full voltage. And then he also recommended that I set the 80% cap voltage to the value you see right here. Now I'm guaranteed I'm good to go. So I'm going to save what I did. I'll give it a name, easy to remember for me, trolling. hit the save, and now I will write it back to the battery. And you can see it's downloaded, and now my battery is set forever. There you go. I really appreciate that viewer. I've forgotten his name. I apologize. Who raised this red flag to me. And if you're thinking about a lithium, boy, you really need to pay attention to this, because the last thing you want to do is burn out an expensive trolling motor. If you know of other brands that have a nominal voltage of under 13.5, well, go ahead and throw them in the comments below. But if you don't need to look, I like these Rebel batteries, especially because of this Bluetooth app that allows me to see the exact voltage when I'm out on the water, so I know how much I have left to go, and allows me to specifically configure this to never have an overvoltage condition on my trolling motor. Comments? Throw them down below. Thanks.